Why, hello, 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 my little cherubs. It's yours truly, the queen of trash. It's Gigi. So, while I was researching for another video, excuse me, more of a rant I wanted to go on, I ran across this, and I knew about this. I hadn't seen too much in the way of further coverage, so I figured, when I saw this, this was perfect. So the contents of this it's a radio news update about a bill that apparently Mike Lee, senator out of Utah, has tried to pass before about banning pornography. And what's interesting about Mr. Lee is that he is also a Mormon out of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, according to his Wikipedia page. He tried passing another bill on pornography. So I'm going to play this again, and let's I just kind of want to give my opinion on this, because it's kind of one of those that, Republicans, what is it with the hypocrisy? You want small government, and yet you've got people like Mike Lee, these right-wing radical Christians that want to get into your bedroom, into your personal business. That's disturbing, for a number of reasons. But I'm gonna play this, and let's talk about this on the other side.
AURN News.
I'm Jamie Jackson. A Utah senator has introduced a bill that could have major implications for how online pornography is treated under federal law. Republican Senator Mike Lee recently introduced the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act. The bill updates the Communications Act of 1934 to establish a uniform definition of obscenity for use across state lines. In a statement, Lee said obscenity isn't protected by the First Amendment, but unclear legal standards have allowed what he called, quote, extreme pornography to spread in American society and reach children. He said the bill is meant to modernize the law for the internet era so that content can be taken down and those who distribute it can be prosecuted. According to the bill, obscene material includes any visual content that depicts sexual acts to arouse or gratify, and taken as a whole lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. For AURN News, I'm Jamie Jackson.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's unpack that for a minute, because there's a lot there that concerns me. And unfortunately, I can see the guy's face. I can't think of his name, and after I'm done recording this, I'll think of his name. Dusty Devers. That's who it was. Dusty Devers. I apologize, my little cherubs. The memory's the first thing to go, No, Dusty Devers, about a year ago, I don't know what it is with these right-wing fanatics. Their sex lives must really fucking suck, because they are so hell-bent on pornography of any kind that I almost feel like saying to them, one, if I had children, I sure as shit am not leaving them anywhere around you unfucking attended. Number two, you can take your radical pious bullshit and shove it up your fucking ass, because you want to live a life of celibacy. If you're going by the teachings of Paul, Paul taught celibacy as an act of keeping oneself pure for the one that you're in love with. And I'm severely paraphrasing that and butchering it to hell, but it's not for what the reasons people thought it was. This is another form, I hate to tell you, someone who loves to study psychology on the side, it's very disturbing, because when you think about this, my little cherubs, these people must have such a fucking oppressed life that everything they say that comes out of their mouth, every bill they try to pass, is nothing but a fucking admission. You want proof? Go back to last summer, the Republican National Committee, when they met in Wisconsin. These are the same people. We don't... Okay, I'm going to put the preface out there. We do not know for sure. But, there's a big but to this. How does a fucking Grindr app crash in one night? In one area that just so happens to incidentally be hosting the Republican National Committee, their event. How is that even fucking possible? And I've been on that app, God only knows how many fucking times. It's like Subway, it's like 7-Eleven, open 24/7. How do these mofos crash it? But that's my point. When I see these legislature, when I see these people, and they sit there and they bemoan and decry, but the children, when in actuality, for them, it's nothing more than a fucking prop. Let's get clear. It's a fucking prop. Once the kid's born, they don't give a shit. Unless they need a talking point. I just did another video where Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, and I apologize, that was my first video of the day, for the quality of it. They're giving a press conference talking about arresting 205 potential pedophiles in 5 days. And I have serious issues with that because they're saying they're going after in full force, and it's reminding me of nothing more than what they were saying about immigrants, illegal immigrants in this country. And I digress. I would urge you go check that out. But this here's the thing. We saw this with Christian Ziegler's wife, and her name eludes me. But when the Zieglers, about 2 years ago, when it came out that his wife was actually bisexual, and as being, before I transitioned, I was an openly gay man for 20 years. And I have to tell you, the number of closet cases that you see is staggering. And what I always find interesting is the closet cases are the worst ones, we used to say in the community, because those are the ones that have the most skeletons in the closet and are the first ones to throw everyone under a fucking bus so far as to keep the attention off them. Because they hate themselves that much. They are that ashamed of themselves because of their upbringing, because of, how they grew up. What were their social groups like? What was the family influence? Also, political. You see this a lot. People sell themselves out for political and monetary gain. And it's pathetic. I'm Bridget Ziegler. That was the name I couldn't think of. Bridget Ziegler. I apologize. Bridget Ziegler. That was a very, very interesting case in point. Where, she and Moms for Liberty banning all these books citing pornography, homosexuality. And this is how fascism takes place. People that can't look in the mirror, don't want to look in the mirror, they want to blame everybody else, but they can't look at themselves. This is about control. This is about fascism. This is about, I'm going to tell you how to live your life, and you're going to do it. And people like Mike Lee, again, I want to know what's on that motherfucker's laptop or his iPhone. Honestly, him, Dusty Devers, anyone that is so fucking hell-bent on homosexuality. I mean, fuck, I'll give you a blow-by-blow description if you want to know, which I have a suspicion you guys already know. But the thing is, if you're that fucking fixated on it, maybe the issue isn't with the porn industry. Maybe the issue isn't with gay people. Maybe the issue isn't with lesbians or trans people or people of color, different ethnicity. When I hear people like Matt Walsh and the rest of them, I mean, look at Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin sold himself out. I mean, let's be honest. Dave Rubin sold himself out. Why? For the Benjamins. Going back to Mike Lee and people like him and Dusty Devers and, the pious, pompous, radical right. They need to understand, every time they do this, Every time they try to pass a bill to silence someone's right, to silence someone's freedom, to try to insert themselves into what goes on in the bedroom behind closed doors with two consenting adults. Well, in my case, it was on average more than three, but I digress. The point is, whatever you do behind a closed door, you're all consenting adults. That's their fucking right. We're born in this country, pay our fucking taxes. We live our lives. So, do me a favor, Mike Lee. Take your pious, pompous, hypocritical bullshit and shove it up right up your fucking ass. Because, quite honestly, you and your lot need fucking psychological therapy. Please get help. And on that note, my little cherubs, I'm going to leave you. And remember, it's not trashy, it's classy. And I'll catch you on the other side. À tout à l'heure.